Allie. Join me as I show you how to do this Timeless Grace Bracelet. It's a very simple pearl bracelet using just 3 materials, 15 OC beads, 4mm pearls, and 3mm crystals. If you need any supplies, look at the links below the video, and that'll get you back to our website in the description there so you can gather all of your supplies. Gather up your materials and let's get started. So sometimes it's nice to go back to basics. I'm just using 4mm pearls, 3mm bicones, and some 15 OC beads, along with a Clasp Garden clasp. And I have size 6 dragon thread here in the crystal color, and I'm working with a size 10 needle. I put a stop bead on the end of my thread, which will come off the project, and we're going to just start right away. So this is a very, very simple kind of version of right angle weave, actually. We're going to put 6 of our 4mm beads onto our thread and drop those down next to the start bead there. I'm going to go back through beads 1, 2, 3, and 4. If I go back through beads 1, 2, and 3, it usually kind of doesn't sit as nice. I want it to sit in a round section like that. We're going to add 1 and 2 of our 4mm beads, 1 and 2 of our 3mm bicones, 1 4mm, and 1 and 2 of our bicones. I'm going to go back through that same pearl that our thread is currently coming out of and make a secondary loop. We're going to go back through the crystal here, number 1. We're going to add in a 15-0 and go back through crystal number 2 and the pearl. What that's going to do is just put my little seed bead kind of right there, diamond on the edge. Go through the next 3mm bicone and do the same thing, putting in a 15 OC bead through the next pearl. My thread's long and keeps wanting to get caught on the edge of my table here. And then you can see that you have just kind of that nice little pyramid on the sides here. I'm going to go back through crystal number 1, through crystal number 2, not through the 15-0. We only want to go through the 15-0 one time. Through the next 3mm bead and through the next pearl. And see how you have just that little bit of a point. Now we're going to repeat the pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 pearls get added. Again, nice and simple. Go back through the pearl that your thread is currently coming out of. So you're going back in here, as we go up close now, back into that same pearl. That's going to bring those rounded pearls right up into another circle. We're going to go over here to the sides. If you want to, you can put some seed beads in here, but I want the pearls just to be our main focus as a circle. If I put seed beads on, it changes it from that circle a little bit and makes it more into the diamond shape. So that's what we're trying to avoid here. And now we're going to go back in and do the same thing with our bicones. 1 and 2 3mm bicones. Again, nice simple pattern. 1 of our 4mm beads, 2 more bicones. So you're always adding 5 beads back into the bead that your thread is currently coming out of from the opposite side. That creates that rounded section or that loop. And just to add a little bit of a point, we're going to go through bicone number 1, nice tight pull, add our 15, through bicone number 2, through the pearl, through bicone on the opposite side. You want to make sure as you're doing this that you have a lot of tension on your thread. Don't pull your needle, just pull the thread. Go through then after adding a 15 through the next bicone as well as the next round pearl. Through your bicone number 1, not through the 15-0, through bicone number 2, and then into the round 4mm pearl. And that's it. We're just going to continue that pattern the whole way along for this very simple bracelet. How are hundreds of jewelry makers saving huge each month on premium jewelry making kits? With the PotomacBeads kit subscription, you'll receive 3 brand new kits every month for as little as $49.99. That gives you a savings of up to $70 per box on retail prices. And you get free shipping. And there's no long-term commitment. You can cancel at any time. Subscribe today and enjoy top quality kits and massive savings. Visit PotomacBeads.com/subscriptions today or click on the link below in the description to get links to get back to our website. Once you're done this simple middle row, you can be completely done with the bracelet. We are going to take our wire guard here and put it on the end after 1 and 2 of our 15s coming out through that last rounded pearl. I'm then going to pick up my clasp after going through the opposite side of the wire guard. So through my clasp here. And sometimes if the wire guards sit a little funny, you can actually pinch them so that way they sit better on the end here. 2 more 15s, 1 and 2, and back into that same pearl that our thread was coming out of. That's how you're going to attach the clasp on both sides. So if you're just doing the single row, you're going to go over and attach that way as well here. What I'm going to do is drop down now, and we're going to get a little bit more fun and funky. So here along the side, we have our pearl round section. We're going to add some beads to the right and the left. You don't have to, but this is a way to make the bracelet a little bit bigger and a little bit more unique. I've already done this on the right side, and now I'm going to do it on the left side. You're going to bring your thread and needle so that you're coming out through the bottom of your 2 pearls on the side. You're going to loop back up and around, adding in 2 15s, a crystal, a pearl, crystal, 2 15s, back up and around. And as I come back up and around, I'm doing the same thing on the opposite side, just so you can see. So I have my 2 15s, a crystal, 2 15s, back around. You can see that just put those extra beads right on the sides here. From here, I'm going to go through my pearl right at the top after adding these extras in. Just go down through the pearls at the bottom as if I'm getting ready to do another loop around the side. Down through the bead along the side here. Down through my crystals along the side. If you want to, you can go in and you can decorate along the crystals along the side here too. I'm going to keep it simple, almost to that bubble design. Going down then into my next little pearl unit. And again, you don't have to do this. You can keep it nice and simple. Going into the pearl unit here, I want it so my thread is coming out the top or the bottom along the side, doesn't matter which. 1 and 2 15s, followed by 1 crystal, 1 4, 1 crystal, 2 15s, loop back through those 2 beads that your thread is currently coming out of. That puts that on the side for that little bubble. Through your pearl, that's in the middle, up through the 2 beads along the side here, coming out the 2 beads at the top, same thing. 2 15s, crystal, pearl, crystal, 2 15s, and back through, circling around through those 2 beads that your thread is currently coming out of. That puts those beads along the side here, through the pearl, down through just the pearls along the side, down through the next unit here, through the crystals, and into the next pearl unit to get just that nice little extra decoration on the exterior of that round pearl. Once you get to the end of the design and you have all your little pearls along the side, I don't have my pearls along the side yet for the last one because I'm going to use this opportunity to put on my clasp and then reinforce the thread as I go around and add that decoration to the last one. Now you will notice that the pearls along the sides are kind of flimsy. They can fold back. On the wrist, they will stay as is, but also we're going to be going down the bracelet one more time to kind of get them into place. Before putting the 15s on, make sure that you put on your clasp to go into that wire guard. Forgot that there. 15s go on. Back into that same last pearl from the opposite direction. And then I'm going to go in and I'm going to decorate the sides. And as I come back around, that gives me an opportunity to reinforce the clasp as well. So I'm going and doing my crystal, pearl crystal with the 2 15s on each side and looping back around, doing one side, and then as I come over to the opposite side, I'm going to do my little loops around the sides, and then I'm going to reinforce and go up through my clasp. After coming out the end here, I've gone straight down through the side, meaning I've gone straight down and I've added in some seed beads, which I'm going to show you right now as we go along the sides. We're going to be adding a group of 3 seed beads connecting into the seed bead that we put in between our crystal. So again, this is just kind of an additional step. You don't need to do it, but you can if you want to. I'm going to be coming out through the end here, going through the crystal bicone, pearl bicone. Once I'm out the bicone, I'm going to pick up 1, 2, 3 15s, catch into the middle 15 that sits between those 2 original bicones. 1, 2, 3 more 15s up into the 3, 4, 3 combo. What this does is doesn't add a ton to the look, but it keeps those from flopping down on the sides. So again, coming out through the pearl, crystal pearl, 1, 2, 3 15s through that center 15 that sits there in the middle that we added on the center column. 1, 2, 3 15s into the next crystal, pearl, crystal. You're going to continue this the whole way down the project on both the right and the left sides. And when you get to the end, this is your opportunity to reinforce both sides of the clasp. So when I got to the end here, I went through the pearl, up through the clasp again. Now I'm coming back down. And when I get to the end here, I'm going to reinforce my clasp and then tie off to that starter thread. After you're finished tying off your thread ends here, your bracelet is finished. You can see how pretty it is, whether or not you do it a single row, you do it the sides, or you add the seed beads. Lots and lots of options for this nice, simple pearl and crystal bracelet. Thanks so much for joining me in creating this Timeless Grace bracelet. I can't wait to see your version, so make sure you join our Facebook group for beading and jewelry making and share your designs there with an amazing community. If you haven't yet, subscribe so you don't miss anything from us here at Potomac Beads, and stay tuned for more inspirational designs.